Word up to the real homies. Cheers. Sending you love and light. Yeah, I wanted to talk today about a little realization that takes a lot of people to learn. And it is that death is imminent. And it's not a pessimistic thing to say that. But ultimately, why, brother? Why, sister, are you in your head so much? Why are you so neurotic? Why are you so perfection based? It's like you gotta get weird. You gotta get weird. You gotta stop giving a fuck in the most loving way. Because I'll tell you something that I've learned from actually recently embarking on like cold call journeys, interviewing people on a face-to-face level, is that our minds fuck us. Our minds literally project false narratives based on biases, based on fear, based on projection, based on societal norms. And what I'll share with this is like, I recently started doing interviews in person with people, and still have ways to go to getting like the first video ready, and I'm not very experienced with it. But I remember going up, like getting ready to go interview people. And it's the same with cold calls, which I have a teeny bit more experience doing that. But like, I remember going up, getting ready. I'm like, I'm gonna start going to old people first. They seemed like the most inviting. I didn't want to go up to like any hot chicks or like fucking married young couples and shit like that. And like, the old people were the biggest dicks. They were the ones that were closed off the most in their own mindset. And it's this projection. We create these projections in our mind that are based on a false narrative and not based in the truth. And that's why you can't get high off the highs or lows. It's like the action is what creates the results. In the same way with like cold calling, I remember like before I'd cold call somebody, if it's like a nice put together website, I'd like think they're more valuable and that they would be ruder, and it's such a false narrative. But anyways, like, you're going to die someday. And I don't know what happens after that. But if that's not the biggest motivator to seriously stop at nothing to go after what you want to go after, and even if you go into the depths of hell, even if you continuously fail, there is no such thing as failure. You're learning, you're adapting. I invested and poured everything and gave to everybody around me in regards to the brand that I built, and it failed. But it was the foundation to like what I'm doing now, and I needed to learn that. And guys, it's like everything is a projection of somebody's insecurity. The fear, the reaction, nothing actually matters. And like, for me too, it's like, I had these certain subsets of big insecurities. I always compared myself, yada, yada, yada. It's all a load of garbage. And I'm not saying go after it. I want you to go get that thing and relinquish that insecurity to realize that it really didn't fucking matter. And like, with every aspect of your life, like, be strict, be stern, uphold your boundaries. I still have people around me that take advantage of my time, that, I've always been the nice person. I've always gone above and beyond. And what I realized after literally extending every resource I have until I got to a point where I literally physically couldn't give anymore, I realized it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change their belief systems. It might inherently change some systems, but like, at that point, I just had to start believing that I'm fucking worthy. But also that it's not me. So the people pleaser, the one who grew up always having to compromise himself and give from his own cup, they believe it's their own fault. When in reality, like, take the power back, my friend. Take the fucking power back. You know? And you have to be strict. You have to be stern with your boundaries. What you'll realize is, like, you will never change or control anybody. So you need to make the systems in your own life to be able to withstand these things. And I'm not saying the fucking, like, you know, there's these people saying never go home, never fucking do all this. It's like, that's not what I'm saying, but like, you don't need to keep compromising your own mental state. And I've continuously done that. But also, it's like, just do your own fucking thing. Stop putting yourself in a box. And, like, seriously. And I don't even know what I want to say right here, but I just want you to know I've been on the same perpetual state or roundabout flywheel that you've been on, of just like trying to achieve and culminate. But you actually achieve and culminate when you let go of all that. None of that matters. These videos don't fucking matter. Relinquish all control or need or want or desire. None of it fucking matters. It's like, I know that's how I'm going to manifest the life that I desire, and that's how I know that I've manifested what I have. Stop being so rigid. Open your heart. Be loving. Be childish. That's what will bring you clarity. And, you know, certainly, as you build and develop, take the power back. Don't let people walk all over you. Regardless of anybody's political beliefs, you know, I'm pretty dead set on one certain way in regards to my politics. But certainly I know that fucking, you know, being so rigid either way is a false narrative. Because in reality, as is life, it's a balance in the middle. It's a balance in the middle. It's not to say that I haven't been manipulated in the past, manipulated into believing certain things. But let me tell you one thing. There's a big problem about overt outward judgment. And it's false. It's false. It's not to say that there isn't a truth, because there is a truth. You know? A perfect example is raw milk is better than regular milk. That is the truth. There are people that tell you it isn't. There are people that have been manipulated by lies and society and science to make you think that it is not better than regular milk or better than pasteurized milk. So it's a balance of understanding, whatever, you're still worthy if you drink regular milk. I drink pasteurized milk all the time. But it's not to neglect the truth that raw milk is the superior milk. Raw milk is the truth in that aspect. I know that's a weird example, but it's a balance of like understanding the truth and having your own awareness and recognizing your worthiness. But like anybody, if you go into any scenario of like if you're right or left siding, you know, and maybe because I'm more right sided, I'm more I more find it funny when other sides do this. But again, siding in this whole side is like, it's a game in itself. That the elites, they fucking want you to do that. It's like the real power is like, who gives a fuck? But it's not to negate the truth. So certainly there is a truth. And it doesn't hurt to understand the truth and be guided by truth in a certain set of value systems and not always masking things out of fear. But regardless, you'll never see me outwardly go in and project arguments here and there without unwanted narrative or without unwanted feedback from myself. It's like, I have no interest in proving to you anything. I'm here just liberating myself. But I don't want to prove anything to anybody. And I'm sure, and there's people like this on both sides. It's like if somebody needs to come to you and is always talking bad about the other side, it's like, stop playing this political game. Embody love and embody truth and open your mind. To me, doing that has led me to certainly adopt value systems that do side with one certain side. Regardless of that, though, it's not about making that your whole identity. Because it doesn't matter if you're right, left, spiritual, non-spiritual, business, not the journey is becoming boxless and opening up your heart. And that goes for both sides, left and right. Open up your heart. Stop outwardly judging. Stop believing the fucking media. Stop believing the fucking paid out media, this political dogma. It's all bullshit. They literally want you. They want us in this state. So rise above that. That's all I'm trying to say. And find your own clarity. And for me, personally, on my own journey, because people around me have been certain-sided in certain ways, the funny thing is if somebody pushes something, a political agenda onto me, I want to be the anti-version of that because I'm not going to be controlled in any way. Nobody is going to tell me what I should or shouldn't believe. And nobody should tell you that. Not your family, not the fucking government, none of that shit. That's our sovereign right as a human, correct? And you just see these different types of people, this and that. It's all manipulated by fear. What is love? You know? It's not to mask. It's not to put a Band-Aid. And that's truly what I've found. And that's my own belief. Regardless, though, you know, I see people I love around me just going down a dark path. A dark path. You know? And it's a sad path. And I invite you to go toward the light. That's all.